Come on. Victory. Walking in joy, walking in love, walking in peace, walking in strength. Got my joy back. We got a new song we're gonna do, and this guy's like my blood brother. I love him just that much. That's right. I'm gonna start it off. I called him yesterday. He's a recording artist, and he helped bring me in the truth. And we talk about ministry for real. He loves what he do. So I called him yesterday. I said, man, we attempted to do. He named the song Yahweh. Well, you know me, I'm always taking something and doing something with it. And we turn it to, what we gonna turn it into? Yahuwah. So I'm gonna start off the song, and I see him here. So before he come up, let's clap our hands for my brother John Giddens. Y'all can buy his CD. Y'all can go on YouTube and find it. But I mean, it's taking off all over the country. That's right. He got a song called Drive On Yahweh, and a new single that came out last Friday, Secret Place. So John Giddens, thank you, brother, for coming. John, just let me start off the first verse, and then you know. You're my life, you're my friend, you're my friend, what up? I'm calling you holy, I'm calling you famous, I'm calling you righteous, alright. I call you life, I will serve. He wrote the song, he produced the song, I be jacked up the song. Come on, Jack. You are my friend. You are my source. You are my
Verse 4. It says, sing praises unto the Lord. Sing praises to his name. Extol him and ride upon the Shamaim by his name. Yahuwah, and rejoice before him. So that's what we need to do on a daily basis. Not just here for service, not just in the Shabbat. Every morning when you wake up, you need to sing praises to the Most High Lord. Every morning, every step you take, he's a reason for it. Every step you take, he's a reason for it. So this ain't just a weekend. We need to praise the Most High every day. Every day. Sometimes that's just really have not found that secret thing. I've been in my time as a worshiper. I know that worship windows, there's portals that are open and closed. And there are times when the windows are open this slightly and this much. And it's almost like a team comes in when every window is open. But sometimes that window can remain open for a certain period of time. And when that window is open and the heavens are open, we can sleep right in and get in the presence and create a moment and create a presence. When the Most High begins to just show us what he needs to show us. I believe right now we're living that moment. So if you could just lift your hands with me just for one moment. And just begin to meditate upon the Most High. We shift in this atmosphere, and not only this atmosphere, the atmosphere of every place that your foot treads upon. You're causing things to shift. Why? Because you entered into this presence. And you take it with you everywhere you go, because the Bible says, now creation is yearning for the manifestations of the sons. How many sons do we have on the roof? How many would declare that you are a son of the Lord? That everywhere you walk, creation is yearning because you're shifting things. Why? Because you desire to do something that all creation has given in life to do. And that is to guard and to keep His commandments. And right now, He's delighting Himself in us. I don't know why I had to say that today, but I had to release that from His presence. So we give praise. You say right there. We give praises. We give praises to the King. You are right. You are you bring us. You bring us.
Hallelujah. Yeah.
Can we give John Beard one more hand of praise?
Check 1, 2, 2.
One for the reading, one for the...
Yeah, check 1, 2, 2. Man.
Yeah.
How can you come over that?
Hallelujah.
That's all bananas. Man. I gotta get my seat up. It's my rock. How's everybody feeling after that? Come on now. That's bananas right there. Yo, can you get his mic?
My check. Mic check. 1, 2, 1, 2. Y'all can hear me? Y'all can hear me?
Yeah.
Man, talk about y'all. That's how you praise God right there, right? That's how you praise God. He said that you were supposed that your sacrifices was your praise. I would say we lifted up some good sacrifices. Okay. For the next dynamic,
Oh, stop it right there. Stop it right there. All right. When I say the name Jacob, what come to your mind? No trick at all. Just straightforward question.
Turn his mic down.
So when y'all hear the name Jacob, what comes to your mind? Chosen one? All right. So, anything else? You hear the name Jacob. He wrestled with the angel. So we got to find out, why did he wrestle with the angel? Right? We got to find out, why was his name changed? Right? We got to find out, why did he knock his hip out of socket? All of this stuff, right? We got to find this stuff out. That's better. Check 1, 2, 1, 2. One moment, y'all. So why is it so hard to accept correction?
What is it? Pride.
Okay, before we get into this wonderful meat that we got, y'all know how we do. Normally we see new faces. We want to meet everybody. You know, we want to get acquainted. You know, so if you wouldn't mind, look, I know I see the look on your faces already. Oh man, here we go. All right, if you wouldn't mind just standing up, introducing yourself. You know, if you will, just a little bit about yourself. Let's say ladies first. That's a gentleman. All right, gentleman.
She said head of the house first.
Do it right back.
Yeah. I stand up. I'm Amir. This is my family. Shalom. We've been in the truth about a little less than a year, so it's all new to us. Thank you. So we were invited by our sister Siobhan. This is my other sister. I'm not sure of this young man's name.
I brought them in.
Hey, that brother said all tithes and offering go to him.
Yeah.
Let's talk.
We
No tithes, you're just joking.
Toda, welcome.
thank you.
Next up. Shalom.
My name is Ayana. Amen.
Shalom.
You have any more?
Yeah. You good?
Well, those are my children.
Okay, cool. Okay, cool. Well, we extend our hand to y'all. Y'all are welcome anytime. Y'all are amongst family. Never feel like you can't come. You know what I'm saying? Our doors are always open. We ask that if you have any questions, that you hold them to the end, maybe write them down. If it's something like what scripture was that or whatever, you can go ahead and throw a hand up or just ask. But yeah, you're amongst family. So everybody, I want y'all to give them a welcome. At the end of this, I want y'all come up to them, meet them, introduce yourself. But we say shalom.
Shalom. So, like I was saying, we got to find out why was Jacob wrestling with this angel. What all of this meaning is. Most of the time when we read this, we just read it as a story without actually seeing what it actually means, right? So we got to find out what this means. So this title of this lesson is, Your Arms Are Too Short to Box with Yah. Your arms are too short to box with Yah. Please mute your phones. So the hardest thing about facing correction is, once again, what is it? Pride. The hardest thing to do is to look in the mirror at yourself, right? It's easy to point out somebody else's flaws and whatnot, but it's always hard when you got to turn that mirror back at yourself, right? It's an eternal battle. So let's get on Psalms chapter 3. Hold on one moment. One moment. All right, Psalms chapter 3. We're going to pick it up at verse 1. Proverbs. My bad. Proverbs chapter 3, verse 1.
The book of Proverbs, chapter 3, at verse 1. My son, forget not my law.
The what?
Forget not my law.
You say, my son, forget not my law. Go ahead.
But let your heart keep my commandments. For length of days and long life and peace.
And what?
And peace.
And peace. Go ahead.
Shall they add to you. Let not mercy and truth forsake you. Bind them about your neck.
Do what?
Bind them about your neck.
What does he say to bound on your neck? His word, his law, right? Mashiach said, my yoke is what?
Easy.
Easy or light. Go ahead.
Bind them about your neck. Write them upon the table of your heart.
Do what?
Write them upon the table of your heart.
Write them upon the table of your heart. Read.
So shall you find favor and good understanding in the sight of Elohim and man.
I want y'all to remember this. It says, so shall you find favor and good understanding in the sight of Yah and man. Keep that in your mind. Read on.
Trust in Yahuwah with all your heart.
With what?
With all your heart.
Yeah.
And lean not unto your own understanding.
So I want y'all to notice he uses the word lean. Right? When you lean, why does a person lean on something or somebody?
To be held up, support.
Right? But right here he says, lean not to your own understanding. And he uses this word to lean. I want y'all to keep this in your mind as well. Right? Read on.
In all your ways, acknowledge him.
In all what?
In all your ways, acknowledge him.
In all your ways, acknowledge him. So if you're doing folly, do you acknowledge him? But he said in all, not some, he said in all your ways, acknowledge him. This means you shouldn't do folly. Right? In all your ways, acknowledge him. Go ahead.
And he shall direct your path.
So meaning whatever way that you're going, he's going to guide you on it because he is the way. Read.
Be not wise in your own eyes.
Do what?
Be not wise in your own eyes.
Don't be wise in your own eyes. Go ahead.
Fear Yahuwah and depart from evil.
And do what?
And depart from evil.
So when you depart from evil, then you can acknowledge him what?
In all your ways.
In all your ways. That's the reason why we got to depart from evil. So we got to find out, why does Jacob get a name change? Why does he wrestle with the angel? Why is their hip out of socket? All of these things got to be answered. So one more time, when you think of the name Jacob, what comes to your mind?
Anybody?
I got blank minds?
Oh.
Chosen. Right? Chosen. So it says, in all your ways acknowledge him.
One brother said Israel.
Israel? Okay. So before you do anything, what should you do? Acknowledge Yah. Let's get Joshua chapter 9:14.
book of Joshua, chapter 9, at verse 14. And the men took of their victuals and asked not counsel at the mouth of Yahuwah.
They did what?
And asked not counsel at the mouth of Yahuwah.
So before you do anything, us being believers, we should ask Yah counsel. We should seek what he has for us instead of trying to do it in our own way. Right? So these people right here did something without seeking the counsel of Yah. And we know what happened in this story because they didn't seek him. So before you do anything out of anger or envy, strife, spite, anything, if you do it out of these things, you are going to forget his law. Right? Before you know it, I was so mad, I did it before I knew it. That's why we aren't supposed to act out of anger. Right? Easier said than done. But we get better at it. Why do y'all think Jacob's name had to be changed?
Wine and old wineskin.
That's a good answer.
Yeah, different job.
Different job? Okay. And keep all this in mind. So, what if your actions put you in the predicament that you are in? What if the things that happened to you in your life actually was caused by you? Would y'all think that happened? Because a lot of times stuff happens, we say, man, why this happened to me? What if your own actions came back and caused the things that happened to you to happen? So we know we're going to enter into a time called somebody's trouble, right? Jacob's trouble. All right, let's get Genesis chapter 29. Genesis chapter 29. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated, right? What if y'all found out we was Esau? Stone him now. No, we're not. Oh, everybody going out. Genesis chapter 29 and verse 10.
Genesis of Bereshit, chapter 29, at verse 10. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the whale's mouth.
So this is Jacob after he leaves from fleeing from Esau, right? This is him. And when he finally got to his uncle's house, Laban, right? Read.
And watered the flocks of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's brother and that he was Rebekah's son. And she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob, his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him, surely you are my bone and my flesh. And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob, because you are my brother, should you therefore serve me for nothing? Tell me, what shall your wages be?
So you're not going to just serve me for nothing. What you want me to pay you? What you want me to pay you? $20 an hour? 15? What? You're asking them. That's a great job. They asked you that, right? What you want me to pay you?
Yeah.
Wow. What he make? Oh yeah. Same thing here. Read on.
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah.
Was who?
Was Leah.
Go ahead.
And the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed.
She was what?
She was tender-eyed.
Tender-eyed. Go ahead.
But Rachel was beautiful and well-favored.
So Rachel was beautiful. What does this make you think about Leah? She wasn't too hot, right? Tender-eyed. Let's see. So Leah was tender-eyed and Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. Go ahead.
And Jacob loved Rachel and said, I will serve you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter. And Laban said, it is better that I give her to you than that I should give her to another man. Abide with me. And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel.
How long?
7 years for Rachel.
7 years for her.
Brother, strong.
Bananas. Read.
And they seemed unto him but a few days.
He so head over heels in love. 7 years seemed like just a few days. He walking around skipping. Read.
For the love he had to her. And Jacob said unto Laban, give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
So I served my 7 years. Let me get my wife. I done my work. Let me get my wife. You asked me what my wages was. Boom, I want that wife. Read.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him. And he went in unto her.
He took who?
Leah his daughter.
The tender-eyed one?
Leah his daughter.
Wait a minute. I asked for Rachel, not the tender-eyed one.
Right.
Wait a minute. Something ain't right. Read.
And brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his handmaid, for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said unto Laban, what is this that you done to me? Did not I serve you for Rachel? Wherefore have you beguiled me?
Wherefore you did what?
Beguiled me.
You tricked me. You deceived me. I served you for her and you put her in here. Wow. But before any of this took place, did he ask y'all anything? He didn't take counsel of y'all before he did this. I want y'all to keep this in mind. No counsel from y'all. Read.
And Laban said, it must not be so done in our country to give the younger before the firstborn.
Nah, you didn't tell me that. You didn't tell me that up front. I told you up front I want Rachel, not the tender-eyed one. I told you that. Read.
Fulfill her week.
You want me to do another 7 years? Let's see how much he really liked Rachel.
Fulfill her week, and we will give you this also for the service which you shall serve with me, yet 7 more years. And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week, and he gave him Rachel his daughter, the wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid.
Go ahead.
And he went in also unto Rachel, and loved also Rachel more than Leah.
You did what?
Loved Rachel more than Leah.
Loved Rachel more than Leah. And already told us that Rachel was well favored and beautiful. So what do you think this does to their relationship? The 2 sisters. This house might start to resemble a Jerry Springer episode. Read that last verse again.
And he went in also unto Rachel, and he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years.
7 other years. So is y'all actually involved in this?
No.
No. So now we have Laban has deceived this man
causing him to work 14 years to get Rachel, the one that he actually is in love with. All right, let's go to Genesis chapter 31, verse 7.
So if you would have asked, you could have got a son.
Genesis chapter 31, verse 7. Remember, he says, what's the wages that you want?
Genesis chapter 31, verse 7. And your father deceived me.
He did what?
Your father deceived me.
Your father deceived me. Read.
And changed my wages 10 times.
Did what?
And changed my wages 10 times.
Changed my wages 10 times. Why is this stuff befalling Jacob? He getting deceived right here. All of these things are taking place. Jump down to verse 41.
Verse 41. Thus have I been 20 years in your house.
How long?
20 years in your house. I served you 14 years for your 2 daughters and 6 years for your cattle. And you have changed my wages 10 times.
So he reiterated again, you changed my wages 10 times. You deceived me. All of this stuff is befalling Jacob for a specific reason. Let's get Genesis chapter 25. So I want y'all to bear with me because I know some of this is going to kind of be hard to stomach because the way that we've been taught this.
Somebody tap your neighbor and say, have an open mind.
We've been taught this way, way wrong. Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. Before we get that, let me see. Me and Travis is blood brothers, right? Say that. And he come in the house, he's starving. And he asked me, Cole, I'm hungry, bro. Give me something to eat. And I turn to him and say, unless you give me all your songs, all your lessons, I can't give you nothing. What do you think of me for that? Me and Travis is brothers, blood brothers, right? And he come in the house and he tell me, I'm hungry. Feed me, bro. I feel like I'm about to die. And I don't say, I say, unless you give me all your lessons and all your songs, I can't give you none.
Ain't no loyalty.
What do you think of that?
Condition.
Right? That's kind of scandalous, right? Right?
Not Jacob.
Not Jacob. Jacob, Esau would do that.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go to it. Genesis 25, verse 27.
Genesis chapter 25, verse 27. And the boys grew, and Esau was a cunning hunter, a man of the field.
Esau is what they call a manly man. He's the football guy, play rugby, you know what I'm saying?
He's a
Rough, the jockey, the rough boy. Read.
A man of the field. And Jacob was a plain man, dwelling in tents.
He was a homebody. That's chill at the crib, you know. Read.
And Isaac loved Esau.
He did what?
Isaac loved Esau.
Isaac loved Esau. It don't say he loved Jacob.
Isaac loved Esau.
How do you think that made Jacob feel? His father loved him more. The favoritism, right? Wow. So we see some friction between the two sisters later on, and we get some friction here. Read.
And Isaac loved Esau.
because he did eat of his venison. But Rebekah loved Jacob.
So he was a quote unquote what they would call a mama's boy. Right? Mama's boys get a bad rep, right? Soft nigga. Right?
But the woman said, I ain't gonna be with no mama's boy.
Exactly. Read on.
And Jacob sawed pottage.
He did what?
Jacob sawed pottage.
Go ahead.
And Esau came from the field, and he was faint.
He was what?
He was faint.
Faint. Read.
And Jacob said, and Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray you, with that same red pottage.
Please, bro. I'm starving, bro. I feel like I'm finna die. Read.
For I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom.
Go ahead.
And Jacob said, sell me this day your birthright.
Do what?
Why don't you sell me your birthright?
So if I don't sell you my birthright, you won't feed me. You won't give me nothing to eat. Is this righteous?
No.
That Jacob is doing?
No.
Again, take your mind out of Esau being the most wicked person in the world. This is before any of that stuff took place. Right? This is before any of this ever took place, him going off and being wicked. Read that last verse again.
And Esau said to Jacob, feed me, I pray you, with that same red pottage, for I am faint. Therefore was his name called Edom. And Jacob said, well, sell me this day your birthright. And Esau said, behold, I'm at the point to die. What profit is it shall this birthright do to me? And Jacob said, swear to me this day. And he swore to him. And he sold his birthright unto Jacob.
He did what?
Sold his birthright unto Jacob.
Sold his birthright unto Jacob. Now it is a terrible thing that he was willing to sell his birthright for a bowl of soup. That's terrible. But it's terrible that Jacob even done this in the first place. I know this is our forefather, but this is just a flat out truth. If your brother did this to you, you know you would be mad as the devil in him.
It's called teaching the Bible how it is.
This is flat out wrong. I don't care how you slice it up and dice it. This was flat out wrong. Genesis chapter 27, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 27 at verse 1. And it came to pass that when Isaac was old and his eyes were dim, so that he could not see, he called Esau his eldest son and said unto him, my son. And he said unto him, behold, here am I.
Which one of them did he call?
Esau.
He called Esau, right? Read.
And he said, behold, I am old. I know not the day of my death. Now therefore take, I pray you, your weapon, your quiver and your bow, and go out to the field and take me some venison, and make me savory meat, such as I love, and bring it to me that I may eat, that my soul may bless you before I die. And Rebekah heard when Isaac spake to Esau his son, and Esau went to the field to hunt for venison and to bring it.
So who was supposed to go out and get this deer meat? Esau, right? He's supposed to go get it. But his mama come and say something else. So we follow Yah or our mother. Read on.
And Rebekah spake to Jacob her son, saying,
I follow my mama. You know, that's my mama back there. So everything is lovely. Read.
behold, I heard your father talking to Esau, your brother, saying, bring me venison and make me savory meat that I may eat, and bless you before Yahuwah, before my death. Now therefore, my son, obey my voice.
Obey who?
Obey my voice.
Obey Yah's voice.
Obey my voice.
Read on.
According to that which I command you.
The who command?
That I command you.
Read on.
Go now to the flock. Fetch me from thence 2 good kids of the goats, and I will make them savory meat for your father, such as he loved. And you shall bring it to your father, that he may eat, and that he may bless you before his death.
Supposed to be blessing Esau, though, right? Read on.
And Jacob said to Rebekah his mother, behold, Esau is my brother, is a hairy man, and I'm a smooth man. My father perhaps will feel me, and I shall seem to him as a deceiver.
As a what?
As a deceiver.
As a deceiver. What did he say that Laban did to him?
Deceiver.
Maybe what you did caused this stuff to happen to you. Read on.
And I shall bring a curse upon me. And I shall bring a curse upon me, and not a blessing.
I shall bring a what?
A Deuteronomy, a curse upon me.
And what?
And not a blessing.
A curse and not a blessing. Hebrew 101. What's the first thing we teach on the streets? Deuteronomy what?
28.
Blessing and the curse. This is how we gonna find out. Read on.
And his mother said unto him, upon me be your curse.
Upon who?
Upon me be your curse.
Upon me be your curse. Who is his mother to say that I'm gonna take the curse?
Nobody.
Because we know, if you know the story, Jacob's whole life was a living hell. Whole life was a living hell. Read on.
And his mother said unto him, upon me be your curse, my son. Only obey my voice and go fetch me them. And he went and fetched and brought them to his mother. And his mother made savory meat, such as his father loved. And Rebekah took goodly raiment of her eldest son Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them upon Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of the kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who are you, my son?
Verse what?
It's verse 18.
Okay.
Who are you, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau.
Who?
I am Esau.
Wow, so you went and got the goats from out the yard, killed them, brought the meat in. Now you put this skin on your hands to disguise yourself. The commandment says you shall not bear false witness. What did he do right there? Bear false witness. Read.
I have done according as you bade me.
He didn't tell you. He told your brother to do that. Read.
Arise, I pray you, sit and eat of my venison, that your soul may bless me. And Isaac said unto his son, how is it that you found it so quickly, my son? And he said, because Yahuwah, your Elohim, brought it to me.
Wow. Now you put the lie on Yah. You didn't take counsel in the first place. Now you actually put Yah in the lie. Did Yah bring this up to him? No, your mother told you to go and get it out the yard. Read on.
And Isaac said unto Jacob, come near, I pray you, that I may feel you, my son, whether you be my very son Esau or not.
I don't know. You got that venison kind of quick. Come here, let me check you out and feel you and see if you him. Read.
And Jacob went near unto Isaac his father, and he felt him, and said, the voice is Jacob's voice, but the hands are the hands of Esau. And he discerned,
straight deceit. Read.
And he discerned him not, because his hands were hairy, as his brother Esau's hands. So he blessed him.
So he did what?
He blessed him.
So he blessed them. What did he just do right here? He deceived. He lied. He stole. He coveted. See, what covenant means that you not only desire it, that you actually go and do it. He just broke a whole bunch of commandments.
Dang, bro. Continue.
Did he honor his father?
No.
No. Also, not the Most High, the great Father. So it's double sin in this. Read on.
And he said, are you my very son Esau? And he said, I am. And he said, bring it near to me, and I will eat of my son's venison, that my soul may bless you. And he brought it near to him, and he did eat. And he brought him wine, and he drank. And his father Isaac said unto him, come near now, and kiss me, my son. And he came near and kissed him. And he smelled the smell of his raiment, and blessed him. And said, see, the smell of my son is the smell of the field, which Yahuwah hath blessed. Therefore Elohim give you of the dew of Shamayim, the fatness of the earth, and plenty of corn and wine. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren.
Do what?
Be master over your brethren.
Be master over your brother. Keep that in mind as well. Read on.
And let your mother's sons bow down to you. Cursed be everyone that curse you, and blessed be he that bless you. And it came to pass, as soon as Isaac had made an end of blessing Jacob, and Jacob was yet scarce going out from the presence of Isaac his father, that Esau his brother came in from hunting.
So as soon as he leave out, Esau come in.
Who that? Hey, Greg. Anybody that's parked in the parking lot, like right here, you may have to move your car on the side of the building or right in front. It's the barbershop parking lot.
One moment.
Go around the back.
Sorry about that. So as soon as he leaves out, Greg should be here by now. So as soon as he leaves out, Esau comes in. Read on. 31.
Verse 31. And he also had made savory meat, and brought it unto his father, and said unto his father, let my father arise and eat of his son's venison, that your soul may increase me.
Go ahead.
And Isaac his father said unto him, who are you?
Wait a minute, who are you? You got some meat too? Read.
And he said, I'm your son, your firstborn Esau. And Isaac trembled.
He did what?
And Isaac trembled.
Trembled. Read.
Very exceedingly. And said, who? Where have ye taken venison? And brought it to me. And I have eaten of all before you came. And blessed him. And he shall be blessed.
Remember, he loved this savory meat. Right?
Who?
You can tell he got that.
Who?
Read on.
And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob?
Is he what?
Is not he rightly named Jacob?
He said, is he rightly not named Jacob? He sounds like Jacob's name is something negative. Hebrew names mean something, right?
Yes, sir.
So he says, is he rightly not named Jacob? I'm looking it up. Is he rightly not named Jacob? Wow. Because this is something negative. Let's jump down to verse 41.
Verse 41. And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning of my father at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob.
You gonna do what?
Slay my brother Jacob.
So far, Esau wouldn't feed, Jacob wouldn't feed his brother. Now you have stole his blessing from him. Do y'all think Esau is actually justified in feeling like this? Yeah. Because this is how we would all feel. Read on.
Verse 42. And these words of Esau, her elder son, were told to Rebekah. And she sent and called Jacob, her younger son, and said to him, Behold, your brother Esau, as touching you, do comfort himself, purposing to kill you.
Doing what?
Comfort himself, purposing to kill you.
Read.
Now therefore, my son, obey my voice. Arise, flee you to Laban, my brother, to Haran.
So when Jacob gets to Haran, where he was at, then he get deceived by Laban. Them times, why did that happen to him? Your own sins boomerang right back and get you. So when we do something, guess what? It's coming back to get you. If you're in Jacob's trouble, it's because something that you have done. We're going to find this out as we continue. So now he flees. Does it say anything about Esau following him? Proverbs 28:1.
Proverbs chapter 28, verse 1. The wicked flee when no man pursue, but the righteous are bold as a lion.
Are what?
Bold as a lion.
Are bold as a lion. So again, a lot of people gonna be offended off this, but Jacob just done a whole bunch of wickedness, a whole bunch of it. Lied, stole, the whole nine. Lied on the Most High, dishonored his father, all of it, broke all of them, and we're gonna find out some stuff. So Jacob thing is the end justifies the means. Whatever it takes for me to get there, the end justifies the means. No matter if I gotta lie, steal, cheat to do it, the end justifies the means. He just does it. You don't ask counsel of God, he just do it. Kind of the same way we do stuff to this day. We do it, then we try to reflect back on it. Boy, I should have followed my first mind, right? You're gonna find some stuff out. Genesis chapter 29. Let's pick it up at verse 31. So we read beforehand that he got Rachel now. So now the babies and stuff come in the picture. Read.
Genesis chapter 29 at verse 31. And when Yahuwah saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb, but Rachel was barren.
Go ahead.
And Leah conceived and bare a son, and she called his name Reuben. But she said, surely Yahuwah have looked upon my affliction. Now therefore my husband will love me. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, because Yahuwah have heard that I was hated, he hath therefore given me this son also. And she called his name Simeon. And she conceived again and bare a son, and said,
so the Tenderite one is popping them out. Read.
Now this time will my husband be joined unto me, because I have borne him 3 sons.
3 sons. How many Rachel got?
0.
0, right? Read on.
Therefore was his name called Levi. And she conceived again and bare a son. And she said, now will I praise Yahuwah. Therefore she called his name Yehuda.
Yehuda. Who is that? Judah. What tribe y'all say y'all from? Huh? Man, stop acting. What tribe y'all say y'all from?
Judah. Don't switch it up now. Don't switch it up now.
Stop acting. What tribe y'all say y'all from? Judah. So you from the 10 tribe one.
Tell me mama husband. we playing the Belgian squad. We playing the Belgian.
Yeah, it's what you said. I didn't come up with the chart. I didn't make the chart.
Oh man.
Read that last verse again.
And she conceived again and bare a son, and said, now will I praise Yahuwah. Therefore she called his name Yehuda, and left buried.
Yep, go to the next chapter.
Chapter 30, verse 1. And when Rachel saw that she bare Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister.
She did what?
Envied her sister.
Wow, and strife between the sisters now. Envy ain't a good thing. Read.
And said unto Jacob, give me children, or else I'll die.
Ooh, she said, I got to have some. You even gave her 5. I don't got none. Give me children or else I die. See how big of a deal it was to have children back then?
I know.
The abortion clinic wasn't popping back there. Read.
And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel. And he said, am I the Most High said, who have withheld you from the fruit of the womb?
Go ahead.
And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah.
Y'all said that.
Behold, and she said, behold, my maid Bilhah.
Wait a minute. He should go ask what?
Yeah.
He should go ask counsel of y'all before he do this. But he never do. He just do it. Whatever it is, his mama told him to do it. Oh, you right. His wife say do it. You're right. Just go and do it. Never asking counsel of y'all. Huh?
And on top of that, the younger is doing the same thing that the younger did before.
Exactly.
They try to do whatever it takes to get what they want.
Read on.
In Jacob's verse 3. And she said, behold, my maid Bilhah, go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her. And she gave him Bilhah, her handmaid, to wife. And Jacob went in unto her.
Didn't ask y'all nothing. Now you just got into a whole nother heap of trouble. Read on.
And Rachel said, Elohim have judged me, and have also...
Go back to verse 5.
Verse 5, I'm sorry. And Bilhah conceived, and bare Jacob a son. And Rachel said, Elohim have judged me, and have also heard my voice, and have given me a son. Therefore called she his name Dan.
This is how Dan comes in. Read.
And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again, and bare Jacob a second son. And Rachel said, with great wrestling.
With great what?
With great wrestling.
Keep this in mind. With great what?
With great wrestling.
Read.
Have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali. When Leah saw that she had left buried, she took Zilpah, her maid, and gave her Jacob to wife.
So they did a competition. This is straight up. And we have the next guest come to the stage. This is Jerry Springer's show. This is like where this stuff come from. complete pure hell in this man's house. You like her more than me. Please. Pure hell in this man's house. All because what he has done. Because he don't take counsel of Yah, he just do it. He going through pure hell in his house. Just imagine. Just, my ox already know. Just imagine. Goodness. Read on.
And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bare Jacob a son. And Leah said, a troop come. And she called his name Gad.
That's how he comes into play. Jump down to verse 26.
Verse 26. Give me my wives and my children, for whom I have served you, and let me go.
And do what?
Let me go.
So now he ready to finally get out of there. He got all these children by these 4 different women now. 4 different women he got children with. None of it wasn't his idea. He followed suit. Listened to his mom in the beginning. Now he listened to his 2 wives. But he never listens to Yah.
You know, brother, y'all was okay with this. Y'all set this up like this, brother.
No, Yah don't have nothing to do with this. Read on.
And you know my service, which I have done you. And Laban said unto him, I pray you, if I have found favor in your eye, tarry, for I have learned by experience that Yahuwah hath blessed me for your sake.
This is the first time we hear of Yah, right? In a while. And it's Laban that's bringing them up. Wicked Laban that's bringing them up. Read.
And he said, appoint me your wages, and I'll give it to you.
You done cheated me 10 times already. Read.
And he said unto him, you know how I've served you, and how your cattle was with you. For it was little which you had before I came, and it is now increased unto a multitude. And Yahuwah hath increased you since my coming. And now when shall I provide for my own house also? And he said, what shall I give you? And Jacob said, you shall not give me anything. If you will do this thing for me.
No matter what you give me. There ain't nothing to hold me back. Read.
If you will do this thing for me, I will again feed and keep your flock. I will pass through all your flock today, removing from thence all the speckled and spotted cattle, and all the brown cattle are from among the sheep, and the spotted and speckled among the goats, and of such shall be my hire. So shall my righteousness answer for me in the time to come, when it shall come for my hire before your face. Every one that is not speckled and spotted among the goats, and brown among the sheep, that shall be counted stolen with me.
Shall be what?
Counted stolen with me.
So now, he came there fleeing from Esau, right? Now he into it with his uncle Laban or his father-in-law Laban. If you read the story, they gets into it kind of tough, and he runs again. He flees again from Laban. So now it's time to go back home. It's 20 years later, and now he's about to go back to where he was supposed to be at. Let's get Genesis chapter 32. So remember, we got to figure out, why is he wrestling with Yah? Why the name changed? Why the hip off the socket? All these things, right? Read on. Genesis chapter 32, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 32 and verse 1. And Jacob went on his way, and the Malach of Elohim met him. And when Jacob saw them, he said, this is Elohim's host. And he called the name of that place Mahanaim.
This means 2 camps. This name right here means 2 camps. So it's 2 camps of angels.
Mahanaim.
Read. So the angels came to meet him right here. Right? We know 20 years earlier, When he was going, there's something called Jacob's ladder, that the angels met him in the same exact place when he was fleeing. Now he going back, and the angels meet him again. Read.
And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother.
To who?
To Esau his brother.
So the last time he seen Esau, Esau vowed to do what? To kill him, right? Read.
And Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau his brother unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom. And he commanded them, saying, thus shall you speak unto my master Esau.
Why are he calling him what?
My master Esau.
But it says that the eldest shall serve the younger, and he's supposed to be his master. But Jacob is calling Esau my master. I wonder. Read on.
Your servant Jacob.
Wait a minute. You got the blessing. Why are you saying your servant? Read.
Your servant Jacob saith thus, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now. I have oxen, donkey, flocks, men servants, women servants. I have sent to tell my master that I may find grace in his sight.
Why is he telling them that he got all this stuff?
Give it to him.
So why would he? We'll see. Read on.
And the messenger returned unto Jacob, saying, we came to your brother Esau, and also he came to meet you, and 400 men with him.
And how many?
400 men with him.
So when it says, and 400 men with him, what comes to your mind?
Jacob peed his pants.
So 400 men is coming with Esau. What are they coming for?
Coming for war. Coming to kill him.
Why do you say that? Why do you say they coming for war?
He basically received his father's blessing. Because he really didn't receive Esau in the first place. But the thing that we do, Esau's still mad because he was real so and all.
Whose blessing was it?
It was Esau's blessing.
Who's the eldest?
The eldest was Esau.
So whose blessing was it? So how did Jacob get it?
He deceived his father.
Still, how did he get it? By hook or crook? Was it right what he did? That's the whole point. That's the whole point. He was wrong. In everything he done, he is wrong. That's why I'm telling you, that's why I told you to bear with me, because I knew somebody was going to feel like you felt. I already know this. That's why I told you before. Bear with me. I know these things. Read that verse again. Verse 6.
Verse 6. And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, we came to your brother Esau, and also he come to meet you, and 400 men with him.
400 men with him. Does it say that Esau gathered 400 men to come? Or it just says that 400 men was with him? Does he know that that Jacob is about to come back? They was just with him. Let's get Joshua chapter 10, verse 6.
Joshua chapter 10 and verse 6. And the men of Gibeon sent unto Joshua to the camp to Gilgal, saying, slack not your hand from your servant. Come up to us quickly and save us and help us. For all the kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us.
What?
The kings of the Amorites that dwell in the mountains are gathered together against us.
See the difference? when it says that 400 men is coming with him, he assuming this. You know why? Because he know what he has done. It's in his mind. You know you done wrong. You know that you done some wickedness. So you automatically assuming, oh, the 400 men is coming to get me. They coming to kill me. But it don't say that in the text. It simply says he coming to meet you and 400 men with him. It don't say he gathered the 400 men to come. They was probably already with him.
So when you ain't got no insurance on your whip, and the police get behind you, you think they know, oh, they about to flip me. You're guilty, get some insurance.
Back to Genesis 32, pick it up at verse 7.
Genesis 32:7. Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed.
And what?
And distressed.
He's greatly afraid and distressed. He's under fear. But it says Yah is not, he don't give us what? Y'all don't, because you still operating from yourself, like he been doing the whole time. Read.
Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks, and the herds, and the camels into 2 bands.
Did he ask y'all to do this, or did he just do it?
He did.
He just did it again. Even the angels just met you, and you still doing the same Jacob. I just do it. I don't ask y'all no counsel. I just do it. Read.
It said, if Esau come to the one company and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape. And Jacob said, O Elohim of my father Abraham.
Wait a minute. Now you pray. So now after you set up a plan to get away, now you turn and pray. Ain't this the same stuff we be doing? Wow. I gotta do something. Oh, Father, help me. Wait a minute, you already put the plan in motion. You already done put the plan in motion, what you gonna do, and then you turn and pray to him. That's backwards. This whole thing is backwards. Read.
And to your kindred I will deal well with you. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies.
So he's humbling himself, right? I'm not even worthy of this. Read.
And of all the truth which you have shown unto your servant, for with my staff I passed over Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands.
Come to what?
2 bands.
He saw the 2 camps of angels, so he said, I'm going to split my family up into 2 bands or 2 camps. Read.
Deliver me, I pray you, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau, for I fear him.
But you what?
For I fear him.
But you supposed to be the one that's ruling, because you got the blessing and the birthright. Read.
Lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And you said, I will surely do you good.
Just like we always say, when you pray, use y'all's own words in your prayers. Read.
And you said, I will surely do you good, and make your seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered of multitude. And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother.
A present for who?
For Esau his brother.
Let's see what the present was. Read.
200 she-goats. 20 he-goats.
200 she-goats. Read.
20 he-goats. 200 ewes. And 20 rams. 30 milch camels with their coats. 40 kine. 10 bulls. 20 she-donkeys. 10 foals. And he delivered them into the hand of his servant, every drove by themselves, and said unto his servants, pass over before me, and put a space between drove and drove.
So he just gave Esau about 500 cattle. But whose stuff is supposed to be anyway?
Esau.
You giving them what's actually supposed to be his in the first place.
Consolation, right?
Read.
And he commanded the foremost, saying, when Esau my brethren meet you, and ask you, saying, whose are you, and whether you go, and where you going, and whose are these before you, then you shall say, they be your servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my master Esau, and behold, he is behind us.
He is what?
Behind us.
Go ahead.
And so commanded he the second and the third, and all that followed the drove, saying, on this manner shall you speak unto Esau when you find him. And say you moreover, behold, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him with the present that goeth before me.
So he's trying to let Esau know, I don't want no smoke. You my master, you my Lord, all of this. I don't want no problems with you, bro. I'm giving all the stuff back that I stole, trying to ensure, because in Esau's mind, hold what you got. Get Genesis chapter 27, verse 15. Esau thinks this.
Genesis chapter 27, verse 15. And Rachel took goodly raiment of her eldest son, Esau, which were with her in the house, and put them on Jacob, her younger son. And she put the skins of kids of the goats upon his hands, and upon the smooth of his neck. And she gave the savory meat and the bread which she had prepared into the hand of her son Jacob. And he came unto his father and said, my father. And he said, here am I. Who are you, my son? And Jacob said unto his father, I am Esau, your firstborn. I have done according as you have bade me. Arise, I pray you, sit and eat of my venison.
Jump down to 29.
Verse 29. Let people serve you, and nations bow down to you. Be master over your brethren.
Be what?
Be master over your brethren.
So notice he calling Esau master. But the prophecy says that right here, that he's supposed to be getting called Lord and master. But he let Esau know, I don't want none of that to happen. You my master, you my Lord. The whole thing. He's slick. Read.
Let your mother's son bow down to you. Cursed be everyone that curse you, and blessed be he that bless you.
All right, so we can see his mind frame and the reason why he's trying to give him, the reason why he's trying to get brownie points, saying, bless you, my master, my Lord. Here, take all this stuff. Let's go back, pick it up where you left off at. Genesis
32, and we're going to pick it up at verse 18. Then you shall say, they be your servant, that they be your servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my master Esau, and behold, he is behind us. And so commanded he the second and the third, and all that followed the droves, saying, on this manner shall you speak unto Esau when you find him. And say you, moreover, behold, your servant Jacob is behind us. For he said, I will appease him.
I will what?
I will appease him.
This appease is the same word for atonement. Read.
With the present that goeth before me. And afterward I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept of me.
Go ahead.
So went the present over before him, and himself lodged that night in the company. And he rose up that night and took his 2 wives and his 2 women servants and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok.
He did what?
He took his 2 wives, his 2 women servants, and his 11 sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok.
Is this smart to take your family across a river at night? It's not a smart thing, right? But he acted out of fear, even though he prayed after he already put his plan into motion. Read.
And he took them and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone.
He was left what?
Left alone.
He was left alone. Hold that right here. So now ain't no more distractions. You by yourself. Y'all got to talk with you by yourself. No distractions. This is the best way to get your prayer answered, is to do it by yourself. Hold that. Get Matthew chapter 26 and 36. So we see y'all got to get you alone. (26) and verse 36.
Y'all there, say hallelujah.
Hallelujah.
Matthew chapter 26 and verse 36. Then cometh Yeshua with them unto a place called Gethsemane.
So remember, Jacob been wrestling this whole time between doing his will and Yah's will. Read.
And said unto the disciples, sit you here while I go and pray yonder. And he took with him Peter and the 2 sons of Zebedee, and began to be sorrowful and very heavy.
Begin to be what?
Sorrowful and very heavy.
Same kind of feeling that Jacob was feeling. Read.
Then said he unto them, my soul is exceeding sorrowful, even unto death. Tarry you here and watch with me. And he went a little farther and fell on his face and prayed, saying, O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me.
So he's going through an internal battle right now. Can I actually do this? The wrestling within his mind. Can I actually do this? This ain't my will. This is Yah's will. We got to see everything that we go through. We either put our will in the way or Yah's will. This is the struggle, right? Between both our will and Yah's will. We want to do our own will. It's like our children want to do their own will. I tell you what's right, you do what you want to do anyway, because you think you know better. Same thing. Mashiach is at this point right here, battling within himself. How he gonna go through this agony and this pain? Read on.
O my Father, if it be possible, let this cup pass from me. Nevertheless, not as I will, but as you will.
He let Yah's will win out. Not as I will, but your will. He's still going through it. Read.
And he come unto the disciples and find them asleep, and saith unto Peter, what? Could you not watch with me 1 hour? Watch and pray that you enter not into temptation. The ruach indeed is willing, but the flesh is weak.
But the what?
But the flesh is weak.
But the flesh is weak. Jacob was always in the flesh. Take my maid. You sure? All right.
I really don't want to, man.
All right. If you insist. If you insist, I got you. You want me to take yours too? Come on. I gotta bring these tribes out.
Dang, I hate doing this.
Read on.
Verse 42. He went away again the second time and prayed, saying, O my Father, if this cup may not pass away from me, except I drink it, your will be done.
Your what?
Your will be done.
My will be done.
Your will be done.
Your will be done. So it's this wrestling that we about to see is both a physical wrestling and a spiritual one. Let's see this again. Get Genesis chapter 30, verse 8.
Genesis, Bereshit, chapter 30 at verse 8. And Rachel said, with great wrestling.
With what?
With great wrestling have I wrestled with great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister.
You think they was actually wrestling? No. This is a spiritual thing right here. Read that again.
With great wrestling have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed. And she called his name Naphtali.
Called what?
His name Naphtali.
All right, let's go back to Genesis 32. Pick it up where you left off at. Pick up at 24.
32, Genesis or Bereshit chapter 32 and verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
Until when?
The breaking of the day.
So this is how I came on this lesson, because Akyaran asked me about this. And this is how I end up doing this. So he says, why does he say until the breaking of the day or the dawn? When is dawn according to the purple game? At night, right?
At night, brother.
They say dawn is at night. But right here, he says until the breaking of the day. So this angel seemed like he got to go before it gets day. Hold that. Get Matthew chapter 28, verse 1. Yes, sir.
Tap your neighbor and say you're about to learn something. Not everybody at once. 28.
Yep.
Matthew chapter 28, verse 1. And the end of the Sabbath, as it began to dawn towards the first day of the week.
To do what?
Dawn towards the first day of the week.
Read on.
Came Mary Magdalene and the other Mary to see the sepulchre. And behold, there was a great earthquake, for the angel of Yahuwah descended from Shamaim and came and rolled back the stone from the door and sat upon it. And his countenance was like lightning, and his raiment white as snow. And for fear of him, the keepers did shake and became as dead men.
So when the Marys got there, where was he at? Gone, right? What time of the day is it?
Dawn.
Exactly. So just like right there, he got to go before his day. Same thing, because this is the same person. This is Mashiach in both spots. He got to go before his day. Let's go back, because we got to find these other things out. Genesis 32, 24 again.
Genesis 32, 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh.
He did what?
He touched the hollow of his thigh.
And what happened?
And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him. And he said, let me go, for the daybreak.
Let me do what?
Let me go, for the daybreak.
So they having a wrestling match. We got to find out why. Why are they wrestling? We're going to find this out. And why did he knock his hip out of socket? Right? Why do y'all think he done that?
Ooh, pick me.
Why do y'all think he did that? Why he dislocated his hip? And if you ever dislocated something, that's a good answer. But it's deeper than that.
What is that?
No. All right, we're going to find out in a second. All right. Read that last verse again.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint, and he wrestled with him. And
go ahead.
And he said, let me go, for the daybreak. And he said, I will not let you go, except you bless me.
Except what?
Except you bless me.
Except you bless me. Why does he insist on this blessing? I'm not going to let you go unless you bless me. Exactly. Because you stole the first blessing in the first place. So now you're going to earn it. When you get blessed this time, you earned it. You're not going to steal it. You prayed to me earnestly. You wrestled with me. You wouldn't let me go. You overcame your own will. now I'm going to bless you because you overcame yourself. You have now overcome your own self, the person that you've been battling with all of this time, all of these years. You stole the first blessing. Now I'm going to bless you. Read.
And he said unto him, what is your name?
He said, what?
What is your name?
Wait a minute. He don't know Jacob's name? Why is he asking him his name? Because of what? Well, why is he asking Jacob his name? Exactly. You lied the first time. It says you. Plus, your name means something. So now you got to come clean. Your name means heel grabber or deceiver. So when you say your name, you giving up, you confessing all the stuff that you've done, because that's what your name means. See that? This is why you got to come clean, and now you got to say it. You lied and said you was Esau the first time. Now you got to come clean and say your own name. So guess what? If we continue to be Jacob, we're going to go through Jacob's what?
Trouble.
We must become Israel. We must become Israel. Read that last verse again.
And he said unto him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob.
Say what?
Jacob.
Jacob. Again, this is a negative name. Hold that. Get Genesis chapter 27, 35. Again.
Genesis chapter 27 and verse 35. And he said, your brother came with subtlety.
He came with what?
Subtlety.
Subtlety. What did it say that the serpent did? The serpent was more what?
Subtle.
Subtle than all the beasts of the field. Right here he says he came with subtlety. Read.
And he have taken away your blessing.
Go ahead.
And he said, is not he rightly named Jacob?
Is he what?
Not he rightly named Jacob?
Is he not rightly named Jacob? So when you say your name Jacob, it's telling all the stuff that you do. It's telling your character, because that's what the Hebrew names denote, character. Just like when Rachel and Leah and them was having their children, for he saw that I did this, so he brought me great joy and praise, because the names mean something. So when he just confessed his name, it shows his whole character. Now you got to come clean to Yah. Let's go back to it.
So that would mean he was kind of like playing a circuit role.
Yes, sir. Genesis 32, verse 27.
Genesis 32, verse 27. And he said unto him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob.
And he said, Jacob. So now we got to find out, why is he wrestling with him? Why don't he just talk with him? Yah meets you where you are. Say that with me. Yah meets you where you are. Let's prove it. What was Abraham known for? Faith is one thing. What's another thing?
Obedience.
Obedience. What was the obedience that he did? He left everything. He was a traveler, right? He got up and moved. He was on the go all the time. Let's get Genesis chapter 13, verse 15. Genesis chapter 13, verse 15.
Genesis of Bereshit chapter 13 and verse 15. For all the land which you see, to you will I give it, and to your seed forever. And I will make your seed as the dust of the earth,
so that if a man can number the dust of the earth.
Jump back to verse 14.
Verse 14. And Yahuwah said unto Abram, after that Lot was separated from him, lift up now your eyes and look from the place where you are northward and southward, eastward and westward.
So as far as you can see in all directions, I want you to go. Read.
For all the land which you see, to you will I give it, and to your seed forever.
And to who?
Your seed forever.
And to your seed forever. Get Genesis chapter 18. Pick it up at verse 1.
Genesis, or Bereshit chapter 18, verse 1. And Yahuwah appeared unto him in the plains of Mamre, and he sat in the tent door in the heat of the day. And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo.
Now, where was they on their way to originally? They was actually headed to Sodom and Gomorrah to burn the city up. But Abraham has to stop them because, read on.
And he lifted up his eyes and looked, and lo, 3 men stood by him. And when he saw them, he ran to meet them from the tent door and bowed himself towards the ground and said, my master, if now I have found favor in your sight, pass not away, I pray you, from your servant.
So he's saying, pass not away. Does that mean don't die?
No.
Oh, his brother said that pass away means die. Oh, okay. Pass not away. It means don't leave. Stop where you at right there, right? So I want you to keep this in mind. Y'all meet you where you are. Now, what was Joshua? What was Joshua?
Leader.
He was a what? He was a warrior. But not only a warrior, he was the what? Of the army. He was the general of it, right? He was the one that was leading the charge. Let's see how he met Joshua. Get me Joshua chapter 5, verse 13.
Joshua chapter 5 at verse 13. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand.
With his what?
With his sword drawn in his hand.
So Joshua is known for having the sword. So Joshua is a warrior or the captain. What is he right here? Read on.
And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, are you for us or for our adversaries? And he said, no, but as a captain of the host of Yahuwah am I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth and did worship and said unto him, what saith my master unto his servant? And the captain of Yahuwah's host said unto Joshua, loose your shoe from off my foot.
Same thing that angel told Moses. Man, this angel powerful. Read.
For the place whereon you stand is Kodesh. And Joshua did so.
So he meets Abraham as a traveler. He meets Joshua as a captain or a lieutenant of the army. He meet you where you are. Let's go back to finish this part out. Genesis 32. Pick it up at 24 again.
Genesis chapter 32, verse 24. And Jacob was left alone, and there wrestled a man with him until the breaking of the day.
There wrestled a man with him. Genesis chapter 25, verse 22.
Man, brother, I see what you did there. Genesis chapter 25 at verse 22. And the children struggled or wrestled together within her.
So what was Jacob from the time he was born? Wrestling the whole time. So I'm going to meet you where you are. In Genesis 6 it says, my spirit shall not always strive or fight with man. So this is the reason why he's wrestling with Jacob, because Jacob was a fighter all the way from his birth. He was wrestling with Esau in the womb. So this is why he's wrestling with him. Last couple. You got to find out about the thigh. The hip being out the socket. Genesis 32:25.
And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint.
It was what?
Out of joint.
It was out of joint. So the hip represents your power in the Eastern culture. Just like when you have a gun, where do you put it at? On your hip, right? Represents the power. Represents on your hip. Let's see where the sword was at. Get Psalms chapter 45, verse 2. It represents your power and covenant. Psalms chapter 45, verse 2. 45.
Psalms chapter 45 at verse 2. You are fairer than the children of men. Grace is poured into your lips. Therefore, Elohim has increased you forever. Gird your sword upon your thigh.
Do what?
Gird your sword upon your thigh.
Gird your sword upon your thigh. So again, this represents your power, and it represents agreement and covenants. We're going to see this. Get Genesis chapter 24, verse 1.
Genesis chapter 24 at verse 1. And Abraham was old and well stricken in age, and Yahuwah had blessed Abraham in all things. And Abraham said unto his eldest servant of his house, that ruled over all that he had, put, I pray you, your hand under my thigh.
Now this is a bad translation right here. It's saying put your hand under my thigh. It's actually put it on my hip, my side, because this represents the power or covenant. Read.
And I will make you swear by Yahuwah, the Elohim of Shamaim, the Elohim of the earth, that you shall not take a wife unto my son of the daughters of the Canaanites, among whom I dwell.
Jump down to verse 9.
Verse 9. And the servant put his hand under the thigh of Abraham his master, and swear to him according to that matter.
So when Yah broke his hip, he was breaking Jacob's power. Jacob always fled and ran when he got in trouble. You can't run now. You got to stay and face your problems. So now you can't run from Esau because your hip is messed up. So now you got to actually face your problem. What I told you in the beginning, the hardest thing to do is face what's wrong with you. So he got to face it now. Right? One more, Genesis 47:29.
Genesis chapter 47 and verse 29. And the time drew near that Israel must die. And he called his son Joseph and said to him, if now I have found grace in your sight, put, I pray you, your hand under my thigh, and deal kindly and truly with me. Bury me not, I pray you, in Egypt.
Do what?
Bury me not, I pray you, in Egypt.
See, it's another covenant being made right here. So the thigh represents the power and a covenant being made with you. Genesis 32:25 again. And then we're done.
Genesis 32:25. And when he saw that he prevailed not against him, he touched the hollow of his thigh, and the hollow of Jacob's thigh was out of joint. And he wrestled with him, and he said, let me go, for the day break. And he said, I will not let you go, except you bless me. And he said unto him, what is your name? And he said, Jacob. And he said, your name shall be called no more Jacob.
Your name shall what?
Your name shall be called no more Jacob.
You're not going to be a heel grabber. You're not going to be a deceiver. You're not going to do any of that stuff that you was doing before. So now your name is what?
But Israel.
But who?
But Israel.
So we all must stop being Jake and start being Israel. If we not Israel, we're gonna go through Jacob's trouble. Jacob didn't show any love to his older brother. West Church escapes all the damage. Philadelphia, because they got what?
Brotherly love.
Brotherly love. So if you don't get your brotherly love right, you're gonna be Jake and you're gonna go through the trouble. And it's because you put yourself in it. And with that said, say shalom.
Yikes.
I'm gonna hit these questions on this chat, man. But y'all got questions in here?
Go ahead.
We didn't really get into why he had this at the word of God. Maybe I missed it.
The whole thing is he fulfilling the same thing in Matthew.
Hosea. About to say, remember the Hosea 12 and 10, where he say he show his similitudes by the ministry of the prophets. All right. Any other questions in here? I've seen another hand up. No? Y'all still trying to come down from that spiritual high?
As you can see, all of this stuff has great meaning. So when we just go through it and read it, like he was wrestling with the angel and he said, let me go. And you said, yeah, I read the whole Bible. You just read it. You wasn't paying attention. You wasn't understanding what you was reading. You got to go through this stuff and to pull this stuff out. Thank the Ox for asking me the question.
Hey, John.
It said Jacob had no choice. It was prophecy being fulfilled.
Yes, he did.
He definitely had a choice to choose whether to do the wrong thing or the right thing. We all do. Remember, y'all's will is going to be done however way. But what you do is what counts for you.
Y'all said, I set before you life and death, curses and blessings. You choose. So Jacob definitely had a choice in this matter.
Just scanning the chat, y'all. Just scanning the chat right quick.
It got me as he asked him his name again.
Yeah.
Toby.
He asking a question which he already know the answer to.
Exactly.
He giving you a chance to come clean.
And see yourself.
Exactly. Just like when he asked Adam and Eve, who told you was naked?
Exactly.
I know the answer already.
Right.
I was giving you a chance to come clean and come out with it. You know the answer already.
What's your name? Kunta. Your name is Toby.
So now it makes more sense, but like Israel only I've known. Israel my firstborn. All that makes sense now.
Yeah.
Like really makes sense.
You must become Israel.
You know Jacob.
Yeah, you gotta become. That's
25.
Yeah. That's Genesis 25. You can pick it up at verse 22. It says, 2 nations are in thy womb, shall be separated, and all that stuff.
Yeah, so I don't see no questions. That brother was real thorough. Real thorough.
Don't answer his question.
We got a trick deck behind his back. What card am I showing?
Wow.
I got a comment on the question.
So,
Go ahead.
Now, you know how they created the chart, right? They said that Kelly is a Mexican. I see why, because they connect Mexico with wrestling. They do.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
Lucha Libre.
That's probably where they got that from.
well, we got some more praise and worship we're about to do? Okay. Well, everybody go ahead and stand up. Let's go ahead and get this last song before we get up out of here. We kind of went over it briefly.
Sally, my people.
We went over it briefly a little earlier when the brother gave his beautiful praise to the Most High. Yeah.
We need you for them high vocals. All right. That thing was great.
Sing, brother.
Matter of fact, it's time for you to do your solo, brother. Y'all ain't know, brother, Yoran be singing too. Y'all ain't know. All right. So we know we read every week Deuteronomy chapter 6 and verse 4. And I know everybody in here know this song. So everybody on the outside of this building need to hear y'all when y'all sing it. All right? This your song? Okay. Yeah, it's your song. Oh, man. So we gotta lift up our voices to the Most High. We gotta lift our praises to the Most High. Especially if the devil. How many of y'all had to go to the right? That's y'all doing. There you go.
Let's see the drum roll. Let's see the crowd play.
Let's go ahead and get ready to pray out. Hold on, y'all.
All minds clear. Father God, we give thanks to you on this day. for allowing us to come together on your set apart day, Father, that you set aside for yourself, Father. We thank you for allowing us to make your appointment to be in this service today, Father, where we can praise you and we can lift up our voices high to lift up your name on high. Father, we ask that you allow the word that went forth today, Father, to bear witness, not only in our ears, Father, but that it bear witness to our hearts. That we change ourselves from being the old person that we are, Father, that we face our own selves, Father, that we face our sin, our transgression, our iniquity, so that we may be able to become new creatures in you, Father. We ask that you allow us the opportunity, Father, to walk in the footsteps of your Son, Father, that we make the conscious decision, Father, to make that step, Father, towards you. That we don't let anything get into our path, Father. Any distraction, any pride, puff us up and to get us off of your path. You said your Son is the truth, the way, and the life, Father. We just ask, Father, that you allow us to walk in that, Father, to walk in the truth, to walk in the way, so we can get life, so we can be a light to the nations, Father. Father, we ask all these things. We also lift up Brother Ben, who is in the hospital right now, Father. We ask, Father, that ultimately your will be done with everything, Father. Anything that's going on in our lives, Father, any sickness that we're dealing with, Father, any heartache that we're dealing with, Father, any abuse that we're dealing with, Father, any turmoil that we're going through right now in our lives, Father, any finances that we're dealing with, Father, we just ask that we cast all our cares upon you, Father, that you can make us whole, Father, that our faith makes us whole, Father. We ask all these things as believers, doubting nothing, that your will be done, Father, that we be changed to Yisrael, Father, that we can receive your blessing from on high. All these things we pray and we give thanks. Bashem, Yahuwah, Wabenkai, Yahushua, HaMashiach, Ruach HaKodesh, so be it. So be it. Anybody? Abinu Shabbat Shalom, Ikadosh, Shemka, Taro, Nakuka, Yase, Rasoka, Bares, Kashir, Nasha, Bashmaim, Teibanu, Ayom, Iki, Ikanu, Usla, Lanu, Eri, Ashmatenu, Kashir, Suki, Anaknu, Lashir, Mashmu, Lanu, Abinu, Bede, Masa, Ki, In, Asalanu, Min, Para, Kim, Laka, Amalaka, Wahadibara, Wahati Perez, Lombe, Ulami, so be it. Okay. For those that don't know what that was the Our Father prayer in Hebrew. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. I'm slipping. I supposed to know it by heart. You know what I'm saying? See, when somebody started, I might be able to finish it. You know what I'm saying? We got the food in the back. All right, y'all. Real quick before everybody disperse, the gathering, the summer gathering, August 16th through the 18th. Am I right? 16th through the 18th. Make sure you come out. We're gonna have a lot of fun, food, fellowship, music. Oh yeah, basketball. My ox said he putting on a 3-on-3 or 4-on-4. 3-on-3 tournament or 4-on-4? One of them. My ox said, come on with it, all you that come from out of town, near and far. Bring your hoop skills and your hoop shorts with you. So yeah, it's gonna be a great time. It's gonna be a beautiful time. Come and chill and hang with the chosen seed, man. And that's that. That's that. Hold on one second. And it will be a great concert. So all rappers, singers, anybody that's got any talent in this fashion, please come out. You can get to perform on. You can get to perform at this event. So it's going to be bananas. It's going to be phenomenal. So please come out to the gathering this summer, August 16th through 18th.
That is shalom.